So, as I grow older and hopefully wiser, one of the things that I've learned to do is ask myself some questions. Questions which are helpful to me. And one of the questions that I ask is in the morning, after having been grateful for the fact that I did wake up and that I'm breathing and everything is well with my world. One of the questions I ask myself is, where am I going to place my focus and attention today? What is it that I'm going to give my energy to today? And am I going to actually let go of things which are petty? Or am I going to allow my ego to be fed and to stand in the way? And this has been a really beautiful journey of letting go of so many things which seemed to be so important to me in life. And having reached a stage where one can actually take each moment as it comes, be mindful and not allow the preoccupations and the distractions and the worries to take a huge amount of headspace is such a blessing. So many times our minds are running at 1,000 miles an hour. There are so many distractions. It's as if we are living in the middle of clouds of thoughts. And a practice of silence, practices of meditation, a practice of getting more focused, which doesn't happen overnight. It takes discipline and time, and it takes doing over and over again. It's called a practice for that very reason. These things bring you to that space where you are able to start living a little bit more in the now. And as you go through these moments, you realize that you can make plans for your future, you can set goals, you can have visions and missions and work on the plan and see what works and cut out what does not work. You can recalibrate stuff. But at the bottom of it all, what is really important is that you are able to be in the moment, that you're able to be present. And when you start actually giving more attention to that moment, to your breathing, to that presence in the moment, you realize that everything else is actually so much of an illusion. It's so much of a world that we create around ourselves, and those positions and that money and that status is so important only in a very, very, very relative context. At the bottom of it all, what's important is that we are at peace, that we have our health, that we have our loved and dear ones near us. And so many times we take our families for granted, we take the people around us for granted, we take our friends for granted. We give everything to our jobs, we give everything to things that seem to be important but are not as healthy or as life-giving or as supportive of us. So getting back and grounded into ourselves, being able to look at our values, being able to look at what's really important for us, one begins to realize that what's important is the fact that you exist, that you are alive, that you are able to live in the moment, that you can be appreciative and grateful of each moment, that you have family or you have friends you can call family, and that as you go through each moment, you become more and more an observer of your own life, and you live it with peace, with contentment. You pull joy out of each moment, you savor each moment, and that is what becomes a very, very happy, content, satisfied and blissful life. And this is what I would really, really, really want for everybody, because people, when they're at peace, are not running around creating havoc in other people's lives. People at peace tend to spread peace, they tend to spread joy, and they tend to be able to appreciate and be grateful for each moment. And that's what I wish for everybody.